Sabah everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about a great gaming keyboard. It's an RGB keyboard called the Hermes P1, or I think it's Hermes, depending on how you guys want to say it. It's from a company called Gamdias. I want to say thank you very much for allowing me to check out the Hermes P1. I've actually checked out some of their products before, other gaming keyboards, as well as the Zeus P1, which is one of my favorite mouse that I currently still use to this day. But let's not waste any time. We're going to be checking out this RGB keyboard that's highly customizable by itself and with some software that they have available for the PC. This is TK. Let's go ahead and check it out. Here's the Hermes P1. It's an RGB mechanical gaming keyboard. Again, I've reviewed other gaming keyboards from them, but the main benefit here that we're getting here is it's an RGB. It's definitely Gamdias certified. It's using Gamdias certified switches, which is what we have here. These are not Cherry MX switches, but they're very good and very responsive. We'll get a chance to do a sound test very soon. We have the ability of turning on the two programmable macro keys that you have, the spacebar and the B, which is the G2, as well as the ability to switch the function key and the game key, which is the Windows key, back and forth. So by default, functions on the left and then your Windows keys on the right. I actually like to keep them the other way around, as I like to use a lot of my shortcuts on the left, especially if I'm going to do a flip using, between the different switches. We do have a switch puller, which gives us the ability of reconfiguring some of these keys, up to 6 profile compatibility, and then 32-bit microprocessor built into the actual keyboard to keep things really, really nice. And of course, it's an aluminum backplate mechanical keyboard. So let's go ahead and check out the box and see what we get. They decided to go with a different approach here with the wrist rest. What they have here essentially is an easy on, easy off wrist rest, which means you'll be able to basically use these little 2 pins, put it on, snap it in, and you're actually pretty much ready to use the keyboard. That's one thing that's very simple. And if you don't want it, you could just remove it and you're still using it at the same level. You just don't have that support that you get at this point. The other thing I wanted to show you guys real quick is they do include an instruction manual that will walk you through all of the options, be able to configure the keyboard, configure the different options, understanding how to use macros, how to be able to use the different colors as far as the setting up options. Now, before I show you guys the background of this, I'm going to show you guys real quick a quick sound test of the keyboard itself. Now, mind you, I am not typing actually on a keyboard. It's not connected to to my PC, but you can hear the sound and the response that we have here. The one thing I want to mention to you guys is all these switches are Gamdias certified switches. These are not Cherry MX switches, but they have really good travel and you can definitely hear them. I like the travel time on them. Very nice. Very, very responsive. The one thing, if I had to kind of nitpick at one thing about this entire thing, is that the spacebar only has one switch. And let me show you what I mean. It's a position switch in the middle. It does have supporting tabs on the right and left, but the switch itself is sitting here. And sometimes, and only sometimes when I'm typing, if I'm going too fast, and let's say I hit it here on the edge side, I end up losing where it doesn't actually register. So just be aware if you're typing, just kind of hit more in this parameter, and you won't have any problems, because at this end, it takes it in, but here, it kind of teeter-totters on the right side, and I would have wished for it to kind of press down. 5 non-slip grips here that gives us the ability to get a very nice non-slipping material there. You are able to raise it slightly to the back, and that gives you the additional 2, totaling of 7, but it raises these 2 away, so you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 at all times. The switch remover is very nicely stowed and carried with the keyboard. You'll never lose this. I want to show you guys the colors on this keyboard. Very, very nice. Again, as I mentioned, it looks really nice. It feels really good. And you're able to switch between these different 6 different color scheme profiles, as well as your own personal profiles. So I can go over here and then I can change the different ones. Now this one, I don't have them set up, but you can go back here and then just does the breathing. I can switch over. I can also go in. And again, you can customize the colors to the exact color. That's the beauty of this. But again, you do need the Hera software. So let's go ahead and switch over to the PC. First thing we want to do is download the Hera software, go to the Gamdias website, download software, and go download the Hera software compatible with the Hermes P1. It also works with a lot of different accessories, and I'll show you guys what I mean. Here's the software itself. It's loaded on my PC. You'll notice there's 2 things here on the bottom. There's the keyboard, the Hermes P1, and if I switch over, I have the Zeus P1, which is also another gaming mouse that I did a review for you guys not that long ago. I'll give you guys a link in the description. But the short answer here, this is really the hub of how this keyboard is going to shine on your PC. From the main screen, we have the key assignment. We can go in there. We can swap the function and the Windows key on the keyboard. So the function and Windows key. When you click this on, it reverses them. So if your preference is to have the function key on the right and the Windows to the left, you're able to do so. The next thing here we have is macro management. You can set up the different macros, record them, save them, and then you also have the profile management. Keyboard illumination, this is where you can customize the colors on the keyboard on the fly. Very quick, very simple. We have 3 different set profiles that you're able to go through. The first one is just the color setup. So you notice you can go in there, select from the different colors. You can also just manually move over and then make your own color, custom color on the keyboard. And it's actually live. So as you're seeing this on the screen, it's actually live on my keyboard, and I can set the brightness of it. So you can definitely set the brightness of the keyboard. This is static and it doesn't breathe. Now, when we switch over to the second option, we have the ability of not only selecting the picture, the color of the keys, but also selecting an image to be able to put on. So let's say you want to spell out a word, Doom, or something like that for a game that you like. You can definitely do that with the lights. You need to load it. And what it does, it looks for a specific file. It's a .gef file format, and you can load it and it will use the keyboard's keys to generate that for you. Last but not least is the illumination. This is basically the effects that you're able to control from the keyboard, from the computer. You do have some of these options selected and configured to these little 6 keys that you have here. And I'll show that to you guys. But the main thing here is you have the ability of going from wave, breathing. Now, when it goes into breathing, you have the ability of selecting the color. Not all of them have it, but some do. It's green, and you notice it's going to shine for us. It'll work really nice. Assignment, a sound timer. This is where you'll be able to record your sounds and actually trigger them to be able to play them in the games. This is definitely for great immersive experience. You have a few that you already have pre-saved on the computer, and you can record your own. They're very high quality. You can hear them, and then you can set them up, and then you can trigger them from the sound settings. Timer settings is pretty simple, self-explanatory. You need to set your timer to be able to initiate your automatic attacks. So if you're setting up different keys and you want to be able to initiate certain effects, this is going to be very helpful. Last but not least is the support tab, where you'll be able to check the software for the Gamdias Hermes software. You'll notice I'm on the latest one, 2.7.3. And then right before that is checking the update for the keyboard itself. Currently, no updates are available, and it is running version 2.0.2. So overall, it's a great keyboard. I find that the customization levels that we get from the PC software obviously outdo the stuff that we can do on the fly. But you do have the ability of, let's say, connecting this to your laptop, start the game, and in the middle of the gameplay, without having to open Hera, you can change through the different options that you have on the keyboard. I also like the fact that they have the ability to basically give you that way of customizing your color scheme between your keyboard and your mouse if they're compatible with the Hera software. So definitely very nice. For me, I like to set the mood correctly. So when I'm playing, let's say Doom, I'll be able to put red all over my keyboard, my mouse, and the LEDs that I have behind my desk. Of course, when I'm playing, let's say Overwatch or something like that, I like to go more of the blue or greenish tone. And I like to basically permeate that through all of the systems, between the headset, the keyboard, the mouse, and the background behind the monitor, so that it makes it a little bit more immersive. Definitely a great mechanical keyboard. The switches themselves are very solid, and there's a lot of potential for updates as well, as they are able to update the software using that Hera software. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you very much for the support. I wouldn't be able to do any of this without you. Like and subscribe as usual, share it with your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video.